Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the final hour on this Good Friday. It's Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open line West Virginia on the way after 2:30. 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK, or text 304-TALK-304. It's sports time. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WJLS in Beckley. Our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS, WKMZ Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WEP in Martinsburg, WAJR in Morgantown, WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, and WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling. As we do every Friday afternoon, we welcome in a member of the Metro News sports team to give us our Weekend Sports Blitz. Daniel, who for some reason I called you Daniel Jones. I don't know why.
That is not only not the first time I've been called Daniel Jones. It's not the first time I've been called Daniel Jones in the media.
Okay.
Because there was an instance when I was playing in the high school boys basketball tournament when I was a senior in high school, and somebody from one of the TV stations used a clip of me from one of the post-game press conferences and identified me as Daniel Jones, which got several responses from people affiliated with my high school basketball team.
Maybe you just look like your last name should be Jones.
Very well could be.
All right.
I don't know what a Jonesy look is, but I'll take it.
I get sometimes with people's names, if I've had people tell me, you look like a Dave. And then I've had other people say, no, you don't look like a Dave. You look like something else. So I don't know. It's just all in perception, I guess.
And to be honest, I'm surprised it hasn't just happened at any point yet. And we're closing in on a year that I've been doing it. So knock on wood, it's not going to happen. I'm a little bit surprised in the mornings, considering he was really the only guy doing it for 20 years, that Chris Lawrence has not said we're going to the sports desk with Kyle Wiggs yet.
Right.
So I'm thankful for that. And again, we're close to a year in on that arrangement. So hopefully we're not going to have to deal with that moving forward.
All right. We'd like to get you ready for the weekend in sports and talk about the weekend sports heading into the weekend. I want to start with the Marshall women.
Yes.
They struggled at times during the season, but they say that's the great thing about March/April basketball is you turn it on at the right time, no matter what the level is, and you can go on a run. And the Herd ladies have been on a run.
They have. And this is when you want to play your best basketball, and they are. They won 3 games in 5 days to get to the finals of the WNIT. If they win tomorrow, they will win the WNIT. It would be their 4th game in 8 days. And they are hosting. It's at 3 o'clock tomorrow in Huntington against Illinois State at the Cam Henderson Center. And in about the last 30 minutes, Marshall Athletics announced that game is sold out. Capacity for women's basketball at the Cam is 5,000. There have been 5,000 tickets sold. So the only seats that are available still are student tickets inside that building.
Yeah, it's been quite a run for Coach Fulks and the team, and having the West Virginia flavor on it with a couple of their players, it makes it even more special.
Absolutely, and some Logan flavor with Peyton Ilderton.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Peyton Ilderton, Meredith Mayer from Fairmont Senior as well. You throw those two in, then you have one of, if not the best player in the Sun Belt Conference in Tamaya Lewis-Utsi. It's a really fun team, and there was some thought that maybe they had some missed opportunities not getting into the NCAA tournament. They had a chance to beat the number 1 team in their conference in Georgia Southern on the last day of the regular season at home and didn't do it. And they had a chance to make a deep run in the conference tournament, and they just came up a little bit short. So you don't end up in the NCAA tournament. But WNIT's been competitive. It's been fun. And they've won 2 games on the road in the postseason, which anybody knows is really difficult to do. So they're going to get a chance to host.
And that game is at 3 o'clock again tomorrow afternoon at the Cam, and it's sold out.
I was going to say 3 o'clock tomorrow. I would say, go get your tickets now, but you can't. Unless you're a Marshall student. If you're a Marshall student, go out there, get your tickets, go support the Thundering Herd.
Or get your your favorite seat at your local watering hole and prepare to watch it.
That is true.
With a lot of other Marshall fans. And this has just been a great story.
It has.
I mean, and it's been a great season of women's basketball. If you look back at what the WVU women were able to accomplish this season as well.
Absolutely. With WVU getting to the second round of the NCAA tournament and hosting in the NCAA tournament, Marshall's going to host a championship game. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, that there's only 3 or 4 teams in college basketball, men's and women's, that get to say they won their last game, and Marshall has a chance to do that. It's really cool. And I was talking about this with Jeff Jenkins earlier. Christian Spears is not the athletic director at Marshall anymore, but you think about the women's basketball hires in particular, it went off the board with those.
Mm-hmm.
He hired a Division II national champion in Kim Caldwell, who had ties to the state, obviously, being at Glenville State, being from Parkersburg. But then you go out when she leaves for Tennessee, you got and hire Julie Folks, who was a Division III national champion at Transylvania, and you bring her in, and it's been a little bit of a slower build. It's been more of a upward curve than just with Kim Caldwell, slam bang, you're in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been really fun to watch Julie Folks build this team and put it together with her vision for Marshall women's basketball.
And let's go herd tomorrow. It'll be a 3 o'clock tip-off again from the sold-out Cam Henderson Center. All right, let's talk Mountaineer basketball.
Yes.
We haven't talked about the Mountaineer men's basketball team in a while.
Haven't had a reason to.
They got quite a break. I mean, how long was the break that they had?
It's close to a month.
Yeah.
It's close to a month.
Which may as well be like 2 years in the world of sports.
Exactly.
Pretty much. But they got back in action, and they won in overtime.
That's right. The College Basketball Crown last night, which, for those who aren't aware, it's an 8-team tournament. It's kind of a made-for-TV product for Fox. That WVU, with the Big 12, was contractually obligated to participate in. WVU wanted to participate. Contractually obligated is sometimes a dirty term.
Sure.
But WVU was contractually obligated because of where they finished in the Big 12, plus the fact they didn't make the NCAA tournament, to go play in the CBC. So they did. They played Stanford last night. We're up 6 at halftime, proceeded to blow that lead, go down by 8 late in the second half, come back, force overtime, and then beat Stanford in overtime, 82-77. Honor Huff had 21 points for WVU. He's going to get at least one more chance to suit up for the Mountaineers. They play Creighton tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the semifinals.
All right, and 4 o'clock. That's when that game is played tomorrow. And I know there was a lot of people that had kind of scoffed at this at this tournament when it was first devised, as you said, a couple of years ago. Because I mean, this is we talk about NIL in sports. This is a tournament that's based on NIL.
Right.
That's what the whole reason that they're playing for.
There's $300,000 in NIL money up for the team that wins it. So there is value to it, and it's a tiered thing. So you win your first round, it's something like $50,000. You win the semifinal, it's like $100,000, and then you win the whole thing, it's $300,000. So there's legitimate value in this, and the NIT has kind of taken a step back in terms of importance. There are teams that don't want to play in the NIT just because, frankly, it costs a lot of schools more to compete in the NIT than it does to just go home. So I think the College Basketball Crown being organized by a television network and put on the way that it is in Las Vegas and having that monetary stake has made it pretty meaningful for the teams that play in it. And by the way, Nebraska won the College Basketball Crown last year, made the NCAA tournament as a top 4 seed this year, won their first NCAA tournament game ever in program history, and their head coach, Fred Hoiberg, today was named the AP National Coach of the Year. So you win every winner in the history of the College Basketball Crown has made the NCAA tournament as a top 4 seed, and their coach has been the National Coach of the Year.
Again, we're talking Daniel Woods, and I'll say this about the NIT tournament in general. I was talking with Speedy Bevins, Metro News broadcaster here during the state tournament, and he and I were talking a little sports yesterday, I think it was, and he said, he remembers when the NIT was always at Madison Square Garden, and it's great that the Marshall women are getting to play that game at home. That's fantastic. But he seemed to think that it just not playing in Madison Square Garden just didn't seem right to him.
I agree, and there is something to be said for that, because I have memories being a kid of WVU playing in the NIT in Madison Square Garden and beating Mississippi State and Clemson to win the NIT. And I think that's, like I was saying, some of these tournaments outside the NCAA have taken a little bit of a step back, I think, just because with the House settlement and with NIL, schools have to be a little more fiscally responsible. There's not as much buffer room in the budget to say, oh, it's, a couple $1,000s for us to pay for hotels and meals to take these guys to New York City to play in the NIT. Well, that's $10,000 that could be going towards our revenue sharing program. That $10,000 might be the difference between that freshman point guard over there being here next year. So it's that kind of thing that you have to think about. And you look at the NIT bracket this year on the men's side, and that's kind of what you see, because the semifinals were Thursday. It was Tulsa against New Mexico and Auburn against Illinois State. Now, that's nothing against Tulsa, New Mexico, and Illinois State.
Right, yeah.
But those are not programs that you used to see in the semifinals of the NIT.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a different game, and the college basketball crown has kind of stepped up into that second spot.
Let's talk Final Four.
I am very excited. We've got women's Final Four tonight, men's Final Four tomorrow. Where would you like to start?
Let's start with the women.
All right. So tonight, UConn against South Carolina, UCLA against Texas. It's all 4 number 1 seeds have made the Final Four this year. UConn's got Sarah Strong. She's the National Player of the Year. If she was NBA draft or WNBA draft eligible, she'd be the number 1 pick. She's a sophomore. She can't come out until next year. And then South Carolina, Dawn Staley, probably the most successful program over the last 5 to 10 years in women's college basketball. Kind of goes without saying for them. The other side is very interesting because Texas and UCLA have both been very good in recent years, but have kind of been building up to something like this. Texas has Madison Booker, who is, again, one of the best players in the country. Vic Schaefer has been on that job for a while now and has really taken that program to where it's capable of being with the money that you have at Texas. And then UCLA under Corey Close has been building up really over a decade at this point. They've got a ton of great talent. Lauren Betts is going to be one of the top 5 picks in the WNBA draft. 6'7" center that can do a lot. And then Kiki Rice is probably a first-round pick as well. They're going to be some really good games. And, you know, people like the Cinderellas. People like the lower seeds making deep runs. All 4 number 1 seeds in this Final Four means we're going to get some really good basketball.
Well, that's true. And everybody likes that. But for people that if they did a women's bracket and they went with all the top seeds all the way, then they're pretty happy
They are
now.
very happy about that right now. And it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out because there's a lot of fun matchups that we're going to get tonight.
Let's go to the men's Final Four.
Yeah, men's Final Four, 2 number 1 seeds playing one another, Michigan against Arizona, and then you get a number 2 seed in UConn against 3rd seed at Illinois. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh, well, with the number 1 seeds playing with Arizona and Michigan, national championship games, really the semifinal on Saturday. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think Michigan, to me, should be the favorite right now with how they've played in the tournament, how they played coming into the tournament, and just the way they've looked all year. Yaxel Lendeborg is one of, if not the best player in the country. They've got the biggest front court in America, I think, with him, Merez Johnson, and Adai Mata. And then on the other side, you've got an Arizona team that can match them physically, which not a lot of teams can do. Modius Krivas up front for Arizona is incredible.
Isn't that a legal term?
Modius Krivas?
Yeah. Yeah. He was found guilty.
Rid of Modius Krivas.
Yeah, he was found not guilty on those grounds.
Yes, exactly. Up front with Koa Pete, and then Braden Burries is a really exciting freshman for them. Those are the 2 number 1 seeds. Whoever wins, that's going to be favored in the national championship game on Monday. But then the other side, you get UConn, who's coming off of the incredible finish against Duke, 19-point comeback. You get that shot that was in D.C. It was seemingly hit from Martinsburg.
Yeah, it was a shot for the ages.
Yeah,
I mean, it really
from
was.
Braylon Mullins. Just an absolutely incredible finish. And I mean, they're going to have momentum, and Dan Hurley's going to have those guys ready to go. So I got to see them live against Michigan State last week, and that was an impressive performance. And then they did what they did against Duke. Illinois has just kind of quietly been chugging along. Brad Underwood has cornered the market on Eastern European talent. They've got the Ivasic twins, Tomislav and Zvonimir, and then David Mirkovic as well. And I mean, those guys just go out and hoop. I mean, it's really fun to watch. So I honestly think any of the 4 teams that have gotten this far can win it. That's why you've gotten this far.
Yeah.
But both of those games are going to be really fun. And then whatever the national championship matchup is going to be really good.
And then a great story yesterday with Adam Fletcher, who is the strength and conditioning coach for Illinois, and we had a chance to interview him on Metro News Midday yesterday, and I think Amanda also did a television interview with him as well. I mean, just a great story that a kid from St. Albans, he's not a kid, he's a grown man, goes through this program. And he actually was with another couple programs. This whole thing runs in his family as far as athletic training and stuff of that nature. we met him, interviewed him. I had a chance to talk to him beforehand. Seems like a really great guy. And so, you and I were joking off the air earlier, and Amanda, with about there's always a West Virginia connection. There's always a few, and here's one. The strength and conditioning coach for Illinois is from St. Albans.
Would you like to have your mind blown?
Go ahead.
If that shot doesn't go in for UConn, we would have had a West Virginia strength coach Final Four matchup, because the assistant strength coach for the Duke men's basketball team is my former AAU teammate, Sean Moran from Lewis County High School.
There you go.
So if that shot does not go in for UConn, you get Lewis County against St. Albans in the Final Four with Illinois and Duke. But it is UConn that's there. And, it's really cool just to see Adam Fletcher and what he's doing. And it does always just seem like there's somebody from West Virginia that pops up in the big moments.
A little sports psychology or pop culture, if you will, right now. Is the Final Four, in your opinion, the big deal that it always was? And here's the reason I say this. Because when I was growing up, let's say when I was a teenager, when I was in college, we didn't get as much college basketball on television as what we get now. I mean, we got, like the game of the week, a couple of games here and there throughout the season. So a lot of these teams, in the field of 64, we didn't see it all until the tournament. Now there's always, at any given time during basketball season, there are always, no matter what service you're on, you can choose from about 50 different games, maybe more if you're on an app or something. And so we get to see these teams all over the country. Is it as big a deal now as what it once was?
I'm a bad person to ask, because I'm such a basketball junkie that it could be, the Capital High School alumni team against the Morgantown High School alumni team, and if the guys can play,
both from the 1960s,
exactly. And if the guys are hitting shots, I'd watch it. So I do. I mean, it's a big deal. I think it's a big deal, maybe in a different way. Mm-hmm. I think what we've seen over the years is it's become much more of an in-person event. Yeah. Like on the not quite on the scale of the Super Bowl, but in the same way. And I mean, for years there's been the fan fests and the interactive stuff in the host cities, but this year is actually the first year that every men's basketball national championship game, all levels of college basketball, is played in the same city. Mm-hmm. So Division I, Division II, Division III national championships are all in Indianapolis this year. Yeah. And they're kind of trying to make it a spectacle and make it an event on that caliber, which I think is really exciting. So maybe as the television product, it's not quite as much as it used to be, but the spectacle itself for that host city is as big as it's ever been.
Well, speaking of spectacles, we got to wrap it up. Here in a few weeks, we'll start getting into coverage of the NFL draft, and the city of Pittsburgh is absolutely becoming Draft Town USA. I heard, Iron City Beer, which is the beer in Pittsburgh, and I like Iron City, to be honest with you. Iron City Beer is coming out with a Iron City Draft Edition.
Draft?
Yeah, draft. Yeah, it's like a draft edition. It'll be available, though, in bottles and cans. But it's like, think Miller Genuine Draft, that sort of thing. Gotcha. But it's going to be especially for the draft. Pittsburgh is going all out. They're canceling schools and everything for the NFL draft.
Well, I mean, we're, 3 weeks out from the NFL draft?
Yeah.
Today's the home opener for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
And there were alerts put out by the city of Pittsburgh saying if you're coming in for the home opener, come in with a plan for where to park, because there are so many closures on the North Shore of Pittsburgh right now for things going on with the draft that like half the parking at PNC Park isn't available.
We didn't even get to Major League Baseball. We will later.
Number one prospect in baseball, Connor Griffin, debuts for the Pirates today at 4:12.
I'm sure Weekly already knew all about that.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
All right. Daniel with our sports update. Daniel Jones-Woods. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
There's often an assumption that my nasal congestion, my sneezing, my runny nose, these are just things that I have to live with. A lot of times patients will tell me, I've tried every allergy medication, every nasal spray, I've done it all, doc. And then I'll frequently say, what about this? You need to come to the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center. If those things haven't worked, there are new options, new treatments. There's probably something we can do to help. You don't just have to live with those symptoms.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Welcome back to the show. It's 2:29 Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nicholson, Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We do urge you to keep listening, to go over to WVMetroNews.com. Serious stuff here. We've had 2 coal mining fatalities within 24 hours, one in Raleigh County, the other in Marshall County. We've got the latest information available at WVMetroNews.com. And, of course, when we get more information out there, we will get it. When we get it, we'll get it out to you. But, again, information posted now. Updated stories at WVMetroNews.com. We'll take a break. When we come back after the bottom of the hour, it is Open Line West Virginia. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Authorities say so far this year, until Thursday evening, there had been no coal mining deaths in 2026 in West Virginia. Now there have been 2 in less than 24 hours. 53-year-old Aaron Warwicks of Chapmanville died Thursday after a rock fall at the Panther Eagle Horse Creek mine in Raleigh County. The second death came this morning at the Ohio County mine near the Ohio-Marshall County line when a coal miner died after being stuck between a couple of pieces of machinery. Investigations are underway into both accidents. Read more at WVMetroNews.com. Longtime Mason County Commissioner Rick Hanley says it's a good time to be on the commission with Nucor, Fronteras, and other manufacturers building and setting up shop in his county.
They're going to hire some people around here, and we're just looking forward to more people being hired. That's the thing. Jobs, jobs, jobs.
Hanley spoke with WMOV Radio at Fronteras' groundbreaking Thursday. That company deals in coal technology. The final numbers are in. Governor Patrick Morrisey signed 283 bills into law following the 60-day legislative session. He vetoed 12 bills, allowed 10 bills to become law without his signature. State Senate Finance Committee Chairman Jason Barrett says Morrissey was familiar with every bill that came across his desk.
The governor is extremely hands-on. He's very active. He takes a huge role in working essentially every piece of legislation that comes out. He knows, and he is aware and mindful of what's going on.
You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Hi, I'm Alex Cook, and I'm a project manager with CEC. When people ask why I work at CEC, I tell them it's because we turn visions into reality right here in West Virginia. I point out the roads, parks, and bridges we've developed and the streams we've restored. Then I mention the team, engineers, surveyors, scientists, all working together in the supportive culture we share. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
St. Albans native Adam Fletcher is at the Final Four. Fletcher is a strength and conditioning coach for the University of Illinois men's basketball team.
Honestly, to step on that court today meant the world to me. The support that I've had from my family and that has gotten me to this point. But it's special. I'm not taking any moment for granted.
Illinois takes on UConn at 6 tomorrow evening at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock on this Good Friday. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. I mentioned earlier about the Lunch Spot segment. We've had a little fun during the Lenten season, focusing on fish fries and whatnot. Today we talked peanut butter eggs. And, I'm not a huge sweets eater. It's not that I don't like sweets. I just prefer meat and cheese more. But talking to Pastor Steele there and his what he calls the egg factory made me really want some peanut butter eggs. Just saying. So what we're going to do next week is we'll get back to normal. And the Lunch Spot segment is designed to help promote restaurants and fine dining and not so fine dining. As long as they got good food, that's all we care about. It could be a 5-star restaurant or it could be curb service drive-in, which there are still quite a few of those in West Virginia, by the way. That's what we want to do. We want to celebrate those, but we depend on you to let us know about them. Drop us an email midday at WVMetroNews.com, midday at WVMetroNews.com. You can also use that same email address to nominate a wonderful West Virginian that we do that segment during the 1 o'clock hour on Wednesdays. And also on Monday, we do a little thing during the 2 o'clock hour that we call Mayor Monday, where we like to go around the state of West Virginia and introduce you to another great mayor doing great things in his or her town. This past week, we went down to Raynell and talked to Mayor Pendleton down there. So regardless, we need feedback from you, whether it's food, whether it's mayors, or whether it's wonderful West Virginians. Midday at WVMetroNews.com, midday at WVMetroNews.com. Reach out to either one of us, Amanda or myself, on social media. Dave Allen Radio and Facebook for me, or at Dave870 on X. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I was doing a little bit of reading early this morning. I mean early, like when I first got out of bed this morning, about this post on Truth Social that President Trump put out yesterday just before 8 a.m. Most people, when they're beginning their workday, aren't necessarily, especially when you're the president of the United States, begin your day by posting on Truth Social. But this is Donald Trump. So I'm going to read you this statement here. He is taking issue, which he's done in the past, with Bruce Springsteen. And he's taken issue with a lot of Hollywood types in the past. But let me read you just some of this comment in case you missed this. He starts off, bad and very boring singer Bruce Springsteen, who looks like a dried up prune who has suffered greatly from the work of a really bad plastic surgeon, has long had a horrible and incurable case of Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. The guy is a total loser who spews hate against a president who won a landslide election, including the popular vote, all 7 swing states, and 86% of the counties across America. Under Sleepy Joe and the Dems, our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country by far anywhere in the world. MAGA should boycott his overpriced concerts, which suck. Save your hard-earned money. America is back. President DJT. President going after Bruce Springsteen. And look, I am a Springsteen fan from a musical standpoint. I discovered Bruce Springsteen around the Born in the USA era, but that wasn't the era that I liked. Okay, Born in USA in '84 is what turned me on to Bruce Springsteen. But then I discovered the Born to Run album, which for my money is one of the greatest albums ever recorded. And then Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle, and The River, and all the different albums. And I've followed Springsteen throughout his career. He and I do not agree on much politically. Bruce and I do not. However, I respect him as a musician. I mean, the guy is, 76, how old am I? He's 76, 77 years old. He and I share a birthday, although I think we're 21 years apart. He's the older one, by the way, not me. And sometimes with Bruce, I have just wished, could you just perform, but the president going after him, and that's just, I don't know why it would surprise me, but it just kind of did. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I enjoyed Meadows and Wilson today talking about Peeps on Talkline. I didn't get to hear the whole show, but they were kind of borrowing a little bit from Weekly on the in or out thing on Peeps. And I will give you my opinion of them. As I said, I'm not a big sweets eater. But Peeps not one of my favorite things in the world. Got to be honest with you. But that's just me. Text says, on this Easter weekend, can we all just pause all the drama and remember that Jesus died on the cross and rose from the dead to save our sins? Let's try to remember that. Thanks, Dave, says the texter. Text says, gas continues to rise, went up another 20 cents. Thank you, President Trump. Text, America is full of Christians who voted for Trump. That's how I know Christianity is a false religion, says a texter. Again, don't somebody run off on me and say, did you hear what that guy on the radio said? That was me reading a text. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, sorry to disappoint you, Dave, but the story on your website says Republican registration numbers are going up. Now, why would that disappoint me? I don't care how people register. I was a registered Democrat for a number of years, switched to Republican, and now I'm a registered independent. The only thing that disappoints me about voter registration, whether it's Republican, Democrat, or other, is the shockingly low number of people who actually vote. Now, that does bother me. I just the fact that we have such a low voter turnout, that bothers me more than how anybody. I don't care how people register to vote. You do you. We have a story posted about it at WVMetronews.com, and some numbers were released by the state Republican Party, which, that's what parties do when they get good news. And again, I'm not faulting them for it. That's what you do. It's the ultimate PR. Democrats would do the same thing if they had some good news to report, and the number, I think here's what I gathered from the story. All right. And you can go read it for yourself and you can report back whether you think I'm right or wrong. I think there are some people now that are getting the message that the Republican Party chose to close their primary. And if they were a registered independent, they realized that come election day, primary election day, that they're no longer, as we've talked about several times, they're no longer going to be able to go into their polling place and say, I'm a registered independent, but I want a Republican ballot. And because the Republicans made that decision that they wanted to close their primary. And again, I've said it over and over again, that's their right. They can do whatever it is that they want. They can set their own party rules. But I think maybe some Republicans have realized that and said, well, I'm not going to be able to vote for fill-in name here, so I need to switch back to Republican. And look, good on them for being informed, I still think that come election day, though, despite all the efforts, I talked earlier about county clerks sending out cards, reminding people of the new rules, despite all the education, all the stories we've done on it, all the stories that the other broadcast and printed and online media entities have done, I still think that come up primary election day, there's going to be some people that are registered independent in West Virginia that are going to walk into their polls and they're going to take it out on 85-year-old Ethel because they are not able to vote how they want. That's me. Text says he is risen. Text, our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire mining community on the loss of the miners. Yeah, it was a rough period, and we've got more information about it at WVMetronews.com. We had a miner from Raleigh County and another from Marshall County, all killed. Those were the first deaths in the coal mining industry, I think, this year in West Virginia. And the investigation continues there. Not a lot of information has been released. We do have some information on the first death. It was a gentleman from Logan County, from Chapmanville, that was killed in the Raleigh County accident. And and we talked to the EMS director from Marshall County last hour on the show, and he stated that the person that was killed in the Marshall County accident was a native of Washington County, PA. So, yes, indeed, it has been a rough 24 hours or so in the coal mining era. Text says, I missed the Pirates talk. Did you all mention hoist the cone? Weekly, what do you know about that? Hoist the cone. Okay. All right. All right. I know about the raise it. I know that, but okay. Well, I'll talk to Weekly about that a little bit later on. I'm going to take a break now. It's 2:43. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. We're back after this.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
There's often an assumption that my nasal congestion, my sneezing, my runny nose, these are just things that I have to live with. A lot of times patients will tell me, I've tried every allergy medication, every nasal spray, I've done it all, doc. And then I'll frequently say, what about this? You need to come to the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center. If those things haven't worked, there are new options, new treatments. There's probably something we can do to help. You don't just have to live with those symptoms.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Walk.org.
2:48, 12 away from 3 on this Good Friday. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producer today. Remember, if you got a child who's a junior in high school in the state of West Virginia, opportunity to win a full ride scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan is on the line. It includes room, board, tuition, and fees. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Deadline to enter, though, May 3rd. Full details available at WVMetroNews.com. That's where you go to apply. Just hit the Apply Now button. Again, WVMetroNews.com. Application deadline May 3rd, presented this year by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, I hated Springsteen before it was cool to hate him. Why this? Springsteen is one of those people. You think Willie Nelson, think Bob Dylan or whatever. That people just I think some people just don't like his voice. I'll be honest with you. I'm a huge Springsteen fan. I have been, as I said, for a long, long time. I think Born to Run is probably one of the best albums ever made, in my opinion. However, not everybody likes the same thing, because I will die on the hill that the Beatles are the single most overrated band in history, and I wouldn't even place them in the top. Personal preference, I wouldn't even put the Beatles in the top probably 50 to 75 bands of all time. Personal preference. Not talking about culturally. I know what they did. What my point is, everybody's different. I get that. Springsteen's not everybody's piece of cake. I get that. But I will say that I have been one over the years that it's not that I don't think that celebrities should give their opinion on politics. They have just as much right as anybody else does. I just don't think that it should have as much value. I mean, it should be equal. Okay, Springsteen says this, or this Robert De Niro says this. Okay, so be it. Or Ted Nugent or Kid Rock or whoever it is. Their opinion should not hold any more weight than the guy who's changing the oil in your car or the person who's taking your orders at Wendy's. I think we put far too much importance on it. That's just me. But, like I said, musically, old school specifically, I'm a Springsteen fan. Text says, congratulations to the WVU men's team and the Marshall women's team. Great time to be a basketball fan in West Virginia this weekend. Text, people like Bruce Springsteen are one reason our country is going down. I'd rather be a Christian than those clowns at the No Kings rallies. These people are stone cold losers. What a bunch of haters. They have no idea. Text said, I agree with the county commissioner that was on Talkline this morning. Most people aren't against data centers. They simply have a lot of questions. Text says, Christ is King. Happy Easter to all, Christian or otherwise. Jesus came to save us all from the eternal consequences of sin. You are loved, says the texter. Text says, put data centers on the ballot, like they're going to do in Ohio. Text, the problem isn't with the data centers, but rather a lack of local control. We should be able to decide what we want in our communities, not Charleston. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text, on this wonderful Good Friday, let's not forget that our American ancestors used Christianity to justify the enslavement of Africans and the genocide and land theft of Native Americans. And a majority of Americans still practice the religion of enslavement, theft, and genocide. Happy Easter, says a texter. Text says, Dave, I was reading the vile comments left on one of the TV station websites about Easter. Total blasphemy. What is wrong with people? Don't read the comments. Don't read the comments. Text said, I totally disagree with one of your texters who frequently defends the Republican Party closing the primaries. It is going to hurt them big time. And why should states pay for elections anyway? Let the parties pay for them themselves. I brought that point up earlier in the week, and somebody texted and said, well, there's got to be some rules, and if the parties, Republican or Democrat, run the elections, then there's no guidelines. And that very well may be true. That's a good point. Text, if the U.S. only gets 20% of our petroleum from the Mideast, why has gasoline gone up exponentially more than oil? More than that. I'm sorry. Oil companies saying bend over again, says a texter. Text says, I moved to West Virginia in 1993 from Ohio for work, and I love it here. I get so tired of people trashing the state I've grown to love. Thanks and happy Easter. Text, first Christy Nome, now Pam Bondi. The evil empire is fading quickly. Text, I have family coming in from Indiana for Easter. Really hope they don't get lost in our potholes. So wait, says a texter. We're supposed to be content with the fact that WVU played a crap season and now we have to settle for some bogus tournament in Las Vegas. Happy Easter, says a texter. And remember, he is risen and Donald J. Trump is still your president. 2:53, we'll wrap it up after this.
A degree from Marshall University isn't simply a career path. It's a trust, an opportunity to inhabit the moments that change lives, to make connections that make a difference. With the opportunities of a larger school and the intimate nature usually reserved for one much smaller, you'll find your people, your passion, and yourself at Marshall, all while experiencing the moments that will shape the rest of your life. In person, online, or a mixture of both, join us today. Your moment awaits at Marshall University.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
There's often an assumption that my nasal congestion, my sneezing, my runny nose, these are just things that I have to live with. A lot of times patients will tell me, I've tried every allergy medication, every nasal spray, I've done it all, doc. And then I'll frequently say, what about this? You need to come to the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center. If those things haven't worked, there are new options, new treatments. There's probably something we can do to help. You don't just have to live with those symptoms.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
And Pivotal Ventures.
Welcome back to the show. Just about to close it out. Text says, hey, Dave, I have 2 extra eggs from Forest Burdett Church. I would love for you and Amanda to share. Love your program.
Nice.
Share?
Share.
Amanda ain't seeing that text.
Hey, man, remember last year because the egg prices, people were painting rocks?
Yeah. You like peanut butter eggs?
Man, yeah, I like anything that's got to do with eggs.
I like anything that has to do with peanut butter, so we're in combination. Texas people put too much importance on what entertainers say, says the man who voted twice for an entertainer. Says the text. Well, 3 times if you count Reagan, because I didn't vote for Reagan. What am I thinking? I was 10 years old. But I am from Logan. Maybe I did.
Maybe you did.
All right. Explain this hoist the cone thing to me from Pittsburgh.
Okay. Mm-hmm. As a Pirate fan, when the Pirates hit home runs this year, they wear a welder's mask. And then there's a guy who chases the guy in the welder's mask holding the road cone behind them. I can't explain it. It's happened a couple of times. We lead the major leagues in home runs already. Do you know that?
And then you have the home opener day. The Pirates have the home opener today.
Yeah, man, at 4:12. Get it?
All right, I got it.
Yeah, 4:12.
All right, got to go. Thank you so much, our producers, Stephanie Pauling, Ryan Nicholson. Hotline is coming up on many of these same Metro News stations. Folks, have yourself a great Easter weekend. We will be back to do it all again on Monday. All right? All right with you, Weekly?
I'm good. I'm good. Is this the end of the show?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. I'm just killing time.
Well, that's all right.
I'd whistle if I could, but I can't whistle. All right. We're out of here. Have fun and love somebody.